together these meals.
In times like these, we turn most strongly to our various governments, looking for them to take action to keep us all safe. U.S. Senator Tom Tillis is heeding the quarantine and spoke to our senior political reporter Bob Buckley about what the federal government is and isn't doing to stem the tide of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I think Governor Cooper has shown some great leadership in the way that he's working with local governments to let them make decisions based on the data. The moment you get that advice from somebody who's doing their best to try and protect your health and your safety, heed that advice. If we do that, I will guarantee you when it comes back next year, and it probably will, we'll have medications and treatments by then and vaccines in 2021. But we can halt this thing just through human behavior. No medicine, no therapy, no hospitalization.
After the avian flu became a concern in the late 1990s, President George W. Bush laid out his plans to be prepared for a pandemic like the one we're facing now in a speech at the National Institutes for Health in November of 2005.
If the virus were to develop the capacity for sustained human-to-human transmission, it could spread quickly across the globe.
Which led me to ask Senator Tillis, so were we prepared for this as we should have been?
Well, I'm not sure we could have ever been prepared for the scope and the scale of what we're dealing with, but we can always get better. And this is not something that any one administration should have to take the blame for. This is something that I think we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot about our dependence on global supply chains. We've learned a lot about how we need to activate certain industries to develop protective equipment.
There was an article published by Yale University which says that the pandemic is likely, by their guess, most likely to peak around April 14th, both in North Carolina and nationally, then largely be over by mid-May. Are you seeing any information that backs that up?
Well, I know that in some of the briefings we're hearing that trending, but those trends are all dependent upon how people behave. One of the concerns that I have when people see that the end is in sight, they think that they can suddenly no longer practice the very measures that's flattening the curve and bringing it forward. So just as Dr. Fauci said in numerous press conferences, this is not the time to take your foot off the accelerator.
So I'm wondering if this economy can recover.
I do believe our economy will recover. It will not be a matter of days or weeks. It's going to take months for us to get back. But we also have to keep in mind the economic fundamentals that you all reported back in February, record job numbers. That economy still exists out there. What's in the way is this virus, which is why we have to end it.
Bob Buckley, Fox 8 News.